Busy offseason for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They lock up Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans on extensions. And in the very latest, they make Tristan Wirfs the highest paid offensive tackle in history. Bucs fans happy about this, but so is that guy, Baker Mayfield. Here he is with our own Evan Washburn out at training camp.
Well, Baker, we appreciate your time. I always say on these training camp tours, it's more a vibe check than anything. And in lead up to coming to visit you guys, the vibes seem pretty strong.
Yep.
How would you describe the energy around this team right now?
Extremely high. And I say that just because we obviously had a huge offseason when it came to bringing some key pieces back. The veteran players that have been here for a long time, Levante and Mike, just bringing them back is so important. Extending Antoine, a great leader for us. And then obviously today, big news, Tristan Wirfs. And the culture that when I got here, the culture was already set. The standard was here. So all I could do was try and help it out. So energy was high, knowing how we finished last season and trying to build on that. And obviously every year is different, but our expectations are extremely high, and we're excited to get after it because we know the type of group we have. We didn't know that in the beginning of last year, but we know, we kind of know our identity right now. And obviously it's a long season, and we're going to figure out exactly how, what plays work for us and when it comes to that type of identity scheme-wise. But energy is extremely high for us right now.
You've been open about just how your career as a pro has had its ups and downs. And sticking with this idea of vibes and energy, is there a time just in your football career in general where you can remember feeling like this ahead of a season?
I have to go back to college, to be honest with you. Nothing in the NFL has felt like this. And for me, that's just personally, obviously finding a home and having somewhere that they believe in me. That's why, it kind of reminds me back to college at Oklahoma. But it's an unbelievable place, and we have a great group from top down. And everybody understands what their responsibility is, and everybody's accountable. So that's what makes it feel like home.
As a player, using your experience, what is it that you want to do with this opportunity in terms of attacking it specific to that quarterback position?
This is a real opportunity for us. Coach Bowles, I think the clip got out about him saying, it's not just about winning the division. For us, it's taking the next step. And so for me, this opportunity, we have the potential for a team to go all the way. And for me, that means just taking care of business one day at a time, being the same guy for these guys. And then when it comes time to the big games, how do we, change the narrative for us? Be on the right side of the ball this year and, finish strong. So for me, it's an opportunity to extend and get past that divisional round and see what happens when we get to the NFC Championship. And after that, that's the goal.
Is your play style going to change at all? Has it changed at all as you've looked at the way that you attack games?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when it comes down to third and fourth down, got to have it. Things. When I talk about play style, more so protecting myself. Got to get it in certain situations, but more so trying to protect myself. Like I said, it's a long season, so for me, just distributing the ball. I think the skill group that we have as we continue to grow in this, from the offseason into camp, how quickly can I get the ball in their hands? I think we have a really special group that they're going to do great things when they get the ball in their hands.
Yeah, you kind of led me there. It was one of my favorite moments just in general from last year, that Vikings game where you happen to be mic'd up and keep your weight up. That's still going to be part of the Baker Mayfield sauce, hopefully, right? Yeah, no,
that's it doesn't have to be a play like that, but that's the edge that I try and bring to our guys. It's the tone and the tempo that I'm trying to bring to this team. For our guys to play with chips on their shoulder, to expect to get to somebody's best shot and to have that underdog mentality that I've always had. And I think this group, pretty much everybody does, even though we have a lot of guys that shouldn't be underdogs. But it's kind of the identity that we're trying to resemble.
Quickly here, just ripping through your playmakers. Obviously, you start with Mike Evans and then Chris, and then you're giving some strong praise to Jalen.
Yeah.
What excites you about what each of these guys can do specifically?
Mike and Chris, obviously Mike is Mike. There's not one person that can cover him one-on-one. He's going to have to get double coverage, and I think I realized that pretty quickly last year. And for Chris, I think he finally feels back to his true form. I think he feels completely healthy and just getting back into the slot. And this offense is something that can really play to his strong suits. So, you watch L.A. with Puka and Cooper, how they use those guys. And so Chris is going to be doing what he does best in the slot. And we're still going to move guys around, but then for Jalen, he's such a smooth route runner. And I think, no, he's not a blazing fast guy, but he looks smooth and he covers a lot of ground. And then at the top of his routes, I keep telling people this, he does things that are kind of those intangibles that you can't teach. He's friendly towards the quarterback at the top of his routes. He knows how to finish and find the blind spots with DBs. And then he's just going to continue to get better when he's watching those two guys that we have.
And the guy that's orchestrating all this along with yourself is Liam Cohen. What have those conversations been like going back to when he was hired to where we are now and where you hope they go?
Yeah, for Liam, when we compare last year to the offense this year, that system brings a lot of answers. And so he wants me to feel comfortable at the line of scrimmage of having a couple play calls and making sure that I get our guys in the best position to have success. And so Liam brings that mentality that you should never feel like, I don't know what we're going to do here. There should be an answer at the line of scrimmage. And so he brings that football IQ to our team, and he teaches it as we install this offense. And I think that's been a huge part of, our younger guys that we're trying to implant in this offense and this team is teaching them the game as we go, as we understand, and we all learn together and grow. So he does a great job of that, and just he's got a little fire to him too.
Yeah, former quarterback. Lastly, Baker, with Tristan now signed up, when you guys are on an off day, the wives have given you the kids, it's daddy daycare time. What's on the itinerary? Who's picking up the checks? Because, we could get into the minutia on the contracts, but you guys are both – you could take those kids on a pretty good excursion here in Tampa.
Yeah, we might just have to do a little fair rotation each time. I'll pick a cheap restaurant when it's my turn. I'll make him go to a steakhouse when it's his. No, but he's an unbelievable guy, and the fact that, we're going through these different life stages together and these new chapters of our lives, it's unbelievable to be able to do that with a friend. He deserves this new deal. But everybody on the outside was a little worried that we were going to let him go. The front office, this is a guy they drafted and we're extremely high on from the beginning. He wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, the beauty of it is no matter where you go to eat, the kids are eating chicken tenders, so it's easy on the wallet.
Exactly.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, the 29-year-old quarterback looks to build off some momentum after what was a breakout season. Last year, he ranked at the top of multiple categories, including completion percentage. You see there, passing yards and touchdowns. He'll look to remain at the top as the Bucs bring back some key pieces on this offense as the start of the season inches closer.